Have you ever felt like you're on the wrong path in life? Like everything you're doing isn't quite right and you can't figure out why? Imagine dedicating your entire career to something, giving it your all, and still coming up short. That was the reality for Vincent van Gogh, a post-impressionist painter who dedicated his life to art. Despite his passion and hard work, Van Gogh only sold one painting during his lifetime and died believing himself to be a failure. But today, his art is some of the most expensive and well-known in the world. So how did he go from obscurity to immortality? Let's find out. Van Gogh was born on March 30th, 1853, in Zundert, a small village in the Netherlands. His father was a pastor and his mother was the daughter of a farmer. Vincent was the eldest of 6 surviving sons, and from an early age showed signs of being different. As a child, he would help his mother with household chores, such as making buttons, and was known for his diligence and honesty. When he was 11 years old, his family moved to a larger house in the nearby town of Nuenen. Here, Vincent was tutored at home by his father until he was 16, when he was sent to a boarding school in the city of Bergen. It was there that he began to develop an interest in art, drawing pictures of his classmates and teachers. After finishing secondary school, Vincent returned to Nuenen and became an apprentice at his father's church. Although he was officially a minister, Vincent never took this path seriously. Instead, he spent his free time copying pictures from a popular Dutch magazine called The Tits. He also started attending art classes at a private academy, but his attendance was irregular. Meanwhile, his father hoped that Vincent would follow in his footsteps and become a respected preacher. However, Vincent could not accept his father's wishes because he did not believe in Christianity. This caused a rift between them, and Vincent left home in 1869 to start a new life in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, Vincent continued his art studies, but soon dropped out again due to financial problems. He then found a job as an art dealer, but he was unsuccessful at it. Vincent then went to London in 1873 to try his luck there, but he came back to the Netherlands empty. After failing in these endeavors, Vincent realized that he needed to find a stable job. He accepted his father's offer to become a missionary in the Born-Age region of Belgium. But despite his efforts to adapt to this lifestyle, Vincent struggled with the hypocrisy and exploitation he saw among the clergy. He was deeply affected by the suffering of the poor miners and began helping them without consulting his superiors. This caused him to lose his position as a preacher, and he decided to focus on helping the miners instead. During this time, Vincent's health began to deteriorate, and he suffered from starvation and exhaustion. He then went back to the Netherlands and stayed with his contemporary, the artist Anna Bach. She introduced him to the Impressionist movement and encouraged him to pursue painting as a career. Vincent began attending painting classes at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Antwerp. There he met the artist George Seurat, who became a close friend and influenced his style of painting. Meanwhile, Vincent's mental health continued to decline and he experienced hallucinations and other symptoms of mental illness. He was forced to take a break from painting and spent time recovering in a sanatorium in France. In 1886, Vincent's brother Theo offered him financial support so that he could continue painting. Vincent expressed his gratitude by dedicating one of his most famous paintings to Theo. It was called The Starry Night and was painted during Vincent's stay at the St. Paul de Musol Asylum in St. Remy de Provence. The painting depicts the view from his window of the small town of St. Remy below a swirling sky full of stars. Despite its popularity today, the painting was not well received during Vincent's lifetime. Vincent's mental health continued to deteriorate, and he began cutting off pieces of his own ear. This led to his hospitalization, and he was placed under the care of Dr. Paul Gay. Vincent had become a well-known figure in the art world, and Dr. Gachet was honored to have him as a patient. However, Vincent's behavior was still erratic, and he attempted to cut his own throat. Dr. Gachet's daughter helped Vincent survive the attempt, and he lived under the doctor's care until his death. Vincent's relationship with Dr. Gachet was unusual, but significant. The two men bonded over their shared love of art, and Dr. Gachet became a model for several of Vincent's paintings. One of these paintings, Dr. Gachet, was exhibited at the 1890 Impressionist exhibition, and is now considered one of Vincent's masterpieces. Towards the end of his life, Vincent's mental health improved and he became more sociable. He developed friendships with other artists such as Paul Cézanne, Émile Bernard, and Paul Gauguin. He also became interested in religion again and began attending church services. However, His health quickly deteriorated again, and he suffered from stomach pains and seizures. On July 29, 1890, Vincent went outside to collect some sunflowers. When he collapsed and fell down a ditch, he was found by a peasant who notified Dr. Gachet. By the time Dr. Gachet arrived at the scene, Vincent had already passed away. He was buried in a small cemetery in Alvasuas on August 1890. For many years, Vincent's grave remained unmarked, but in 1897, Theo erected a monument over his brother's grave. Today, Vincent's grave is a popular pilgrimage site for art lovers and admirers who come to pay their respects to the post-impressionist painter. Despite Vincent's difficult life and struggles with mental illness, he left behind a legacy that continues to inspire and amaze people around the world. He is considered one of the greatest painters of all time, and his work has been displayed in major museums across the globe. Some of his most famous paintings include the Starry Night, Sunflowers, Self-Portrait with Bandaged Deer, Café Terrace at Night, and Wheat Field with Crows. Vincent, his unique style of painting, and his ability to capture the beauty and emotion of everyday life have made him a timeless figure in the art world. Vincent van Gogh's life was a testament to the power of perseverance. Despite facing numerous challenges throughout his life, including poverty, rejection, and mental illness, Vincent never gave up on his passion for painting. He continued to create art until the end of his life, leaving behind a legacy of over 800 oil paintings and 700 drawings. One of the reasons for Vincent's success was his dedication to his craft. He painted every day, often working in obscurity and poverty, but always striving to improve his skills and find his unique style. Vincent was not afraid to experiment with new techniques, and his unique brushwork and bold use of color set him apart from other painters of his time. He was also not afraid to paint subjects that were considered controversial or mundane. He saw beauty in everything, whether it was a peasant digging in the field or a simple bowl of fruit. Another reason for Vincent's enduring popularity is his ability to evoke emotion through his work. Vincent's paintings are filled with a sense of melancholy, but they are also infused with a kind of optimistic acceptance of life's hardships. He was able to capture the beauty and wonder of the natural world, while also acknowledging the sadness and isolation that can accompany human existence. This combination of realism and emotion has resonated with audiences throughout history and continues to inspire and move people today. Finally, Vincent's story itself adds to the appeal of his work. Despite his genius, he died believing himself to be a failure, only to be recognized posthumously as one of the greatest painters of all time. This tragic irony makes his work all the more poignant and his story a cautionary tale of the sometimes harsh realities of the art world. Today, Vincent's work is celebrated in museums and galleries around the world, and his name is synonymous with Post-Impressionism and the birth of modern art. His paintings are some of the most expensive ever sold, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations of artists. Vincent's life may have been marked by tragedy and obscurity, but his art has become a timeless testament to the power of creativity in the human spirit. If you've made it this far, I appreciate your support. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on notifications, so you never miss out on any of our latest videos. Thanks for watching.